Well, we find ourselves here on the beautiful Penobscot River in Old Town, Maine. But we're on Indian Island at the Penobscot Nation Museum. And I happened upon a very interesting man playing a flute, but he's finishing and tuning a flute, the grandfather tuning instead of with a machine. And I'd like to introduce to you James Neptune, and he is about to show us how to make a flute. James?
I don't know if I'll show you all the steps, but I can tell you how I've been learning. It's just a matter of taking a, like I said, it's a 2x2 piece of wood, splitting it, and then you have to take a router. Everyone must know what a router is. So you make your holes, your gullies in there, and it goes all the way up to what we call the dam, which is between the sound hole and the blow hole. So that's all solid wood around there. And then they take another router and they go from this point and route out to about this far. And then you'll have to drill a hole in there to blow through the sound chamber and stuff. So once you reglue it back together again, you have to drill the sound hole. There's certain measurements that you have to make to drill this hole at an angle, because the air is going to be coming from you into this chamber, blown over here, and then there's an alley on top of that dam from this hole to this hole, because you will. Should have brought a block. This is called a block. Now that block is going to go over these over this hole and to the point right on this side of this sound hole. And so when you blow your air, it's compressed, it's blown out and across here, and then at this lip here you angle that like at a 45-degree angle, and the wind, the air that you blow hits that and splits, and then it resonates down through the chamber, and then whatever holes that you open or close, you'll be able to create that sound. So the first step, after you've got this to this point, then you start whittling this point down here, and then you're going to form this. You can start at either end. You can start at this end to start getting it thinner, because this is too thick to make a good sound chamber. And then you got this end here where you're going to be cutting and carving to create your mouthpiece. So after you do that and you got it all done, you got it all carved to this shape. This is the finished product, because you want it to look rustic. This is the old traditional way. Well, sort of. Or you could take the fallen limb. You could take a limb and split that and gouge it out the same way. And so then you create the holes, like I said, and you create the alleyway, and then you find and shape a block, and so you got your block on there. And so once you have the block on there, then you test blowing it, see if it makes a sound. And then if it's not, there's a way of saying that the air is too compressed so it doesn't sound well. You lower that alleyway, so you bring it down a little bit more, and then you start making your holes. These 4 holes on most are just symbolic for the 4 winds, the 4 directions, and then you start drilling your holes. Mechanically, you would do them one at a time, but this is the grandfather way. Grandfather way is taking the hand's width and then going from knuckle to knuckle, knuckle to knuckle, and usually you would you'd have a 2-finger width between the next 3 holes, such as this one here. This is the one I was working on yesterday when you pulled in. And so I did the measurements, knuckle, 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 and took the two fingers width and did that. And it comes out sounding like, this is a real short version of a very complicated process. So it comes out sound like this. It's grandfather tune. It's not concert tunes, but it sounds okay. That was from the grandfather tune flute with the backup of passing traffic.
Oh, I love the background noise to all of these because I did studio interviews and they were awful because the people were so nervous they just didn't express themselves. So I'll take the traffic.
So that's a quick, simple version of making a Native American flute the grandfather way.
Now, how long have you been doing this, James?
Oh, my brother Crow. Come along to say hi. Hi, Abby. I've been doing this for about 5 months.
Okay, and what got you started?
The love of music. They say music heals. I drum also.
Mm-hmm.
I learned from an elder some of the old traditional songs, and it was through a grant, and so at the end of that grant period, they were having the Bangor American Folk Festival, and we were supposed to make a presentation of the songs that I'd been taught, and so we had to get a drum. We was going to make one, but it ended up that I do a lot of antiquing, so went to an antique store and found a moose hide drum, all done, all prepared, sounding beautiful. So, see, he's passing on that information.
Why don't you get in his 2 cents worth?
Yeah, well, you know, they teach us too. You know, just have to learn how to listen to them. Yeah. So, anyway, got that, had to paint an image on it, and painted an image on it, and probably about 2 days before we were supposed to go and do this presentation, he goes, "Oh, by the way, you have to sing a solo." I said, "No, I can't sing a solo. I can't memorize all these songs, but I'll follow along with you." He says, "No, you got to sing a solo." So I says, "Okay, there's one song that I've been singing with my brothers and my relatives here for a long time. It's called the Medicine Man song. And to me, it's a healing song. And so when I did my presentation, I told the people that were in the audience, this is going to be a healing song. And the way I sing it with a lot of people in consideration. Firstly, myself, because I have to heal myself first before I heal anyone else. And then to the audience, and then to my family, and then to people all over the world, because there's a lot of suffering. There's a lot of people who are spiritually, physically, and mentally ill. And so I tried to send this out because they say whatever you do affects someone else. So I figured that these were vibrations going out as I was drumming this song, and so all the healing was going up to all 4 corners of the earth. So I told that audience, I said, think of someone in your life. There's a lot of cancer, there's a lot of sickness out there. Think of someone in your family or in your surrounding people that need healing, and think of them as the song is being sung. And so I sing that song now. And it's like the only song I sing. When I sing in front of groups, I'll sing that healing song because I want that healing to go out. I want to try to heal and affect whoever I can, with my song.
Now we're going to take a break here and see if I can con James into grabbing some of his finished work.